Okay, so just another quick recap of where we've got to and how we've got to here. We've designed the Weissenborn, we've built a foam model, we've made that foam model into a rigid fiberglass model. We have refined that surface and brought it right down into a perfect exact shape of the finished instrument that we want to build. We have built a flange for it that makes the join line for the instrument and where the two halves of the molds are going to be when we build our carbon fiber instrument. And now we're actually going to start physically building the mold. So the first layer that's been put in here is a layer of polyester tooling gel coat, and that makes the outer skin of the mold, and it's what we mold against essentially every time we're actually making a guitar. So it's very important to have a really good surface on a mold, and it's now very, very important that when I actually build this mold, that we don't have any air bubbles in it, that our surface is really good. Because really every time you make something out of the mold, you're making a print of the mold. So if the mold isn't good, that's those defects come out onto the guitar, and while they can be refined afterwards, it just adds a lot of extra work that you don't really need. So a lot of you guys are guitar enthusiasts, and that's why you're watching the Emerald Guitars Facebook videos. And you're probably right now wondering, well, how have I ended up watching a tutorial on composite materials? Well, I suppose it's just our way of showing you exactly what goes into our process. A lot of people know about the different processes in wooden guitar building, but really in composite guitars, it's all a little bit of a hidden art. And I guess I've been guilty as much as anybody of hiding the ways we do things, and I'm probably purposely, it's spent a lot of time developing ideas you want to maybe hold it to yourself. But I think it's a good thing to let people see that there's a lot of handwork that goes into these. Sometimes I think people think, well, if it's not wood, then it's probably just been pumped out by a machine. People aren't really involved, but really this is a very hands-on process. Yeah, so in fact, I think probably with the way that we build our guitars, we probably put more hours into every guitar than a lot of wooden guitar manufacturers. We don't use CNC. Everything is hand done. So while we mold the guitar, there's still an awful lot of hours that goes into cutting the materials, putting materials into the mold, and just getting everything exactly how it should be. But really, it's not a competition of who spends the longest building a guitar. It's all about just finding the best way to make the best guitar in your given field. The other thing that's very important to note is I'm not trying to create a revolution here where wooden guitar making gets taken over by carbon guitar making. I have the highest respect for what people do in the wood industry. This is just a different approach to making a great instrument, and it's the approach that I suppose I understand the best because I've been doing it the longest. So essentially what I'm doing here is I'm building up layers of fiberglass to create a solid mold. And for anybody that's worked with fiberglass, you know that your biggest enemy is air bubbles, and it's hard stuff to manipulate. Fiberglass, it's a really hard material. It's made up of strands of glass fibers, and those strands don't really want to conform exactly to the shapes that you might want them to conform to. So that can be a really big problem sometimes. So it's a matter of learning how to manipulate the materials just to get it to go exactly where it's supposed to go. So what I've done is I've made a putty up first of all that I put into all the corners. That just stops the fibers from jamming into the really tight corners. And then I've cut the materials very carefully to fit into the right positions. So it's one of those jobs where good preparation pays off. Cut all this piece out just to fit exactly to match the profiles of the instrument. So I was able to use the initial template that we built, the cardboard template that we designed day one. So you can see just how instead of having fiberglass overlap, I've got a 90-degree fiberglass going down into that corner and then going across this. Now this is just the first layer, and then after that we're going to put a lot more layers on that are really there just to give strength and stability. So over the next week I'm going to be working pretty in depth at these molds. We're going to have various different stages to go through. We're going to put this first layer on today, then we've got the final layers and a metal frame. Then we got to turn it over and then start the whole process again to build the top half of the mold. And I thought it could be something interesting to do while we're working at this stage, to do a little competition. So even though we are yet to complete a Weissenborn instrument, I'm going to give a competition to give one away. We announced it just there a couple of days ago, and what we're planning on doing is we're going to give away one of the very first Emerald Weissenborn guitars to somebody who sent us in a really amazing video of them playing any form of lap slide guitar. So it could be a dobro, it could be a lap steel, it could be indeed a Weissenborn. So send us in your videos, and we're going to shortlist the best videos. We might add some of them here into some of our build videos. Towards the end, when we finished the completed guitar, we'll choose the best performance. We'll probably put it out to our audience as well, maybe to help choose that last one. So if you're a lap slide player, send us in your videos. We'd love to see them. And that in turn will inspire me as I go through this process, finish designing and building this instrument. Okay, so we've put on all the fiberglass, we've put the resin into it, I've rolled it out with the roller, and now I'm just literally chasing the last little air bubbles. It can sometimes be a little bit of a job just trying to get the last little air bubbles to sit down. A frustrating job sometimes. But that's pretty much it for today. I know maybe it's not visually seen that much progress, but this is probably the most important day as we go along, making sure that this is perfect. Well, I guess every day is important. I've probably said that before, but yeah, vitally important that we get this first layer right. Tomorrow I will put on the next layers. There's multiple layers of a special shrink resistant resin and fiberglass to go on here just to make up the strength, and then I'll put a steel frame on this. So that's it for today. Thanks for following along, and we'll see you again tomorrow.